I don't know that peace is something to protect. I know that that's a really common phrase. It's become one of those phrases that, you know, each of us use, a lot of people use. It's culturally relevant. But I don't know if peace is something to protect. My definition, understanding, and vision of peace is sort of a state of being that you have an opportunity to walk into and to live in. And I think that peace sort of protects you. I think it's opposite, actually. I think you're able to be safe in whatever environment you're in because of the peace that's within you that sort of overwhelms and becomes sort of a halo around you. I think that it can be helpful. I would say that it's helpful for me when I think about peace as something that is already mine, will continue to be mine, and will do its job to protect me. So when you connect it to my experience at a PWI where I'm activated for self and for others, nobody can take my peace, nobody can threaten my peace. If there are ways that people can be disrespectful, there are ways that people can dishonor me, but I don't know that that has anything to do with my peace. Sometimes I think like we imagine this peace word to be anything that it does not have any connection to conflict. So we think I'm protecting my peace, so I'm not gonna send that person a text back. I'm protecting my peace, so I'm not gonna go fight for myself in that class. I'm protecting my peace, so I'm not gonna really stand up for people on this campus or in the world. That's the wrong way, in my opinion. I think I can stand up for myself because I have peace. I can send this text back despite it being an uncomfortable situation because of the peace that's within me. So no matter what environment I'm in, I'm always safe. Representation, and I don't mean just like us seeing who we are, but us being together, us being one, and also being recognized by the institution. I went to Howard University Middle School of Math and Science on Howard University's campus. So between 11 and 13, I was being taught by some of the world's greatest African historians. And so my passion and my appreciation for myself and for you, it's like I did not have to learn that later. I did not come into that at 18. I knew that. And so that argument around representation is one that is not even a question. Like, for us to be okay being students here representing this institution positively and not being represented is actually a disgrace to self, in my opinion. You don't have to feel the same way. That is my opinion. And I think, like, to me, it's not really fair to your family. It's not fair to your ancestors who built this campus to come here and then not be represented. That don't make sense. It's also not fair to the young black boys and girls who are looking up to you because they put your face and your name in your school and in your district and in your city, and they're talking about you and they're using you as an example. Yet and still, you're not even represented here. And so we're being played with. We're being used as tools. And it's hard to say pro-black in the name of Assata Shakur, pro-black in the name of Jesus, pro-black in the name of these other activists, and then not be standing up for much. I want us to be comfortable together. I'm not asking anybody to stand alone. I'm asking for us to be comfortable together, actually standing up for it. Because it's not okay just to be here. Y'all know it's not really nice here. And we thought that we was lucky. We thought we worked hella hard. We did everything we were supposed to do. We learned all the steps. We watched YouTube videos. We figured out all the tools. We fought our counselor to ensure he or she assisted us in the process. We took the SAT prep stuff. We got the essay help. Whatever it was, we spent hours and hours and hours, and we get here and we're super dissatisfied and we cool with it. That don't make sense, dog. You put in too many hours. Your time is valuable. That, to me, that's protecting your peace. Like, you put in the work for this. Like, this is not what you did not come here to get this. Like, white kids walking through you on the campus, your professor's not treating you with love, being the only black student, having to jump fences to get to parties. You didn't come here for that. The reason that that's so important, though, is because there's another level. You're gonna go into corporate maybe, and you're gonna have to do the same shit again. So if you don't learn, I still will love you and care for you immensely, but if you don't learn this appreciation for self, you're gonna go into the next phase of life beating yourself up and allowing the world to beat you up. And what we have the potential to do through things like what MG is advocating for, we have the potential to create a space like the one that I existed in at Howard University Middle School, where we actually know what love is. We experience that. We are comfortable telling the truth. We are not afraid that they're going to take our check. I think when you do that, it changes the game. People come together to talk about their trauma. That's like, anybody can do that. I appreciate the vulnerability. But again, to create the space, y'all, where you take the step, that's when it changes. Because the world will feel that. Finally, I'm articulating that the world deems us the smartest kids in the world. That is the way the world sees us. They're actually waiting for us to do something. Because if we don't, they believe it will not happen. Yet and still, we sitting here waiting for somebody else to do it. And they waiting on us. I know we can take on the challenge and achieve something big like what she's talking about. And I think what I want to know from you is how we can assist you. And maybe you don't know that in this particular moment, but I think we should be held accountable. I think that the gossip board should be responsible for ensuring that you have every piece of help that you need to ensure that it comes to life. About me, I know who I am. So I know I'm very intimidating. I know that I'm like so mature. I know that it can be tough to talk to me because there's only certain shit I want to talk about. And I'm very, very prudent or particular about what I do and why, who I'm around and why. And it's part of that is because I understand the value of life. We have all seen many, many men and women die. And so I don't really take life for granted. So I like to be intentional with my mouth. I like to be intentional with my time. I like to be intentional with my feet and my hands, because what we watch and what we sort of are trying to model is this pseudo, which means fake peace that white Americans show. We sometimes are trying to be them because we want to just vibe. We can't do that, bruh. I don't think we can. When we look at the beauty of Baldwin's life, when we look at the beauty of Jesus' life, when we look at the beauty of MLK and Malcolm X, those people, and even Nikki Giovanni and our mothers, and Assata Shakur and Afeni Shakur, when we look at these people, none of them were vibing through life, dog. None of them are waiting till the institution said it was time for them to be an activist, So I think that this is a price you pay. Baldwin has a book called, I love Baldwin. Baldwin has a book called The Price of the Ticket. There's a price for everything, dog. You're gonna be the kid who, you'll be the young man or woman who is too intimidating, or you'll be passive, and that those don't have to be the only two options, but or you'll be passive and you'll be doing stuff that you don't really want to do. You gotta go to sleep with that. I don't. I need to mention I have to plug my Lord and Savior because that's important. The reason is that when you look at me, you can see things that are true and that are very unique. Those things are not solely because of me. I have there's a king who is the king of all kings, who I worship, who I go to his feet. And I bring myself. I know I'm dope. I know I'm handsome. I know I could do a lot of shit, and I've done a lot of shit. But there's somebody who's much greater, much more handsome, much more honorable, who speaks a lot better than me. I go to him and I'm able to learn what it means to have faith to do anything. I don't take a consultant job because I don't have to. Because I can look at a God who can teach me how to build whatever the hell I want to build. I'm not afraid to not join a final club or be hazed in any situation, a final club or not. Reason being, I know what it looks like to build community because I read about it, because I encountered Jesus and saw that opportunity. I'm not worried about money because I know that the being that created white people, whiteness, money, any of those things is my God. And so I don't think you can do these challenges that we talk about. I don't think you can do them by yourself. I tried. I grew up in the trenches. I did everything except kill somebody. And tough to believe, that's fine. I did everything. You can't do this by yourself. I'm talking about taking care of yourself. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about the radical love, the new love that Bell Hooks teaches us about. You can't do that by yourself. That activism Baldwin talking about, you can't do it by yourself. You can do everything you want to try. There's something that in this text that says you cannot serve two masters. So I'm just putting it in front of you. I am who I am because I do not serve two masters. Whiteness does not impress me. I don't need their money. I can make my own. I don't need their people because I got my own. Etc. So I wanted to make sure I share that because I believe in you, but I want to really give you what the truth is. It's not fair if I just come and like say some dope shit on TikTok, say some dope shit in these meetings, but don't tell you the truth. The truth is, I'm going back to the crib after this. I'm going to talk to God about what I need to do with my time to ensure that you and me have a better experience in life. That's it. We need to erase the bureaucracy that keeps secrets. Like, I love y'all to death. That's why I hold you accountable. The thing is that if we're working for each other, we should be working with each other. We don't have to do it the same way that other organizations do it. We should not be following the same structure as other organizations. This whole idea of a board, I understand. If I sat on the board, I would also articulate this, because I think that sometimes it can be counterproductive to the actual work getting done. Because, you know, a lot of us we struggle with self-esteem sometimes and are afraid to make comments or add things if we're not listed as whoever is the official representation of the organization. All that's doing is perpetuating white supremacy, people. Like, nobody should feel voiceless. And so if the positions are making you feel voiceless, then I think you eliminate the positions. If the work is not getting done because the positions exist, you eliminate the positions. You and me, whoever's sitting in those seats, has to be willing to let go of that for the work to get done. Because there are great people who could add great insight, who could make great impact, who have great resources, who could bring great people to add to these fights. But they don't sit on the board, but they're not the president, so it's like, you can't come to these meetings. That seems counterproductive and counterintuitive to if we really talking about liberation, if we're really talking about those things. What we can do to work together to ensure that Ricky doesn't have to experience that we don't have to experience what we're experiencing. Because a lot of us, even regardless of class, so there is, classism certainly is present, colorism certainly is present and prevalent in our community, particularly amongst generational African American students, African students, all students on this campus and people in this country, and even in this world. But I wonder what we can do, how we can collaborate as what the world deems as the smartest students in the world. What we can do and what we're willing to sacrifice in order to ensure that our experience is actually better. And it's a question that I cannot answer for you. I have ideas about what you should sacrifice, but it's not fair. I can only, say what I'm willing to give. I think that continuing to have conversation in this space in particular about what the hell we gonna do about it is what's different. So Samantha O'Sullivan, class of 21, I think, is the founder and creator of this space that we're sitting in, which is called GASA. If she didn't leave this space, we probably wouldn't be here together right now. Which we're finding this space to be a safe haven. We're finding this space to be a place where we can actually activate together. The question again aligns with how can we, in that same spirit, create something. I don't mean create another club or a group. I mean, how can we create and make impact on policy at this institution? How can we all be a part of Ricky's community and go and email with him so that he doesn't have to suffer alone? Those are the things that I think that this organization actually should be responsible. I think that the leaders of this organization should be responsible for creating the systems and the infrastructure to ensure that students who are not on the governing board are able to come and submit their requests. And you guys put the systems together to ensure that we actually get what we need. Because in addition to these things, there are thousands and thousands of dollars that are available to generation African American students, particularly who are on full financial aid, who we never know anything about it. And there's a barrier in communication. There's a barrier in culture, like we talked about. We don't trust the system. We don't know who to talk to. We never got free money in the hood. You know what I'm saying? At least I didn't. I don't know what hood y'all lived in. But my hood, we ain't get that. And so I think like when you look at all of these challenges, it's dope to hear them from each other, but we know what each other are going through because we're going through the same shit. Like the way to take it to the next level, when we look at like what the people who have changed our lives, what they do is they take these ideas and then they build something.